Kentucky can give the same experience that a Hampton can to a player.
Man, I'm telling you that I'm way better as a black person because I went to Hampton. Okay? I don't have no slave mentality because I'm surrounded by black
I went to
people.
UF and I have a slave mentality now
black
because I had nice dorms and I had a hell of a damn training staff and I had everything.
No.
I had top notch. Hampton.
The slave mentality.
You want to go to slave mentality? As we sit here today, Hampton is not a top notch athletic program, is it?
But guess what?
Is it a top notch athletic program?
You play with guys that played in Hampton.
I'm gonna leave this to go there.
You play with guys that played in Hampton, yes or no?
Yes, one. I played with dozens of guys that went to SEC big time.
And you played against HBCU guys too.
And we bashed their heads in.
You bashed Kendall Langford's head in?
No, we both played defense. I'm just saying that for you to say that
Antoine Bethea, he's been playing for a long time.
You're saying with a kid, and that's pretty much all your entire list.
But look at what you're saying. You're basically saying y'all are because y'all been treated like
You've been treated like
I'm just saying.
How have HBCUs been? No. How have you just
because
said,
top black players stop going to black schools.
So the players are treating y'all like
top black players stop going to black schools.
Why?
It's facts,
Why?
bro. Because money. Because
the money. That's what these kids are gonna look at, and these parents are gonna look at. I am with black players going to HBCUs, but if you look at facilities, you look at coaches, you look at trainers, you look at the staff, you look at all that stuff, man. When you walk into UF and walk into Hampton, I'm telling you, it is going to be very difficult for anybody to walk into that knowing that they have this.
You're missing the point.
It has nothing to do with race, it has nothing to do with color, it has to do with availability.
You're missing the point. The argument and the conversation is, why don't we change that? Why don't y'all in the league change that?
And that's the thing that we go back to all the time. You have to pick money over the movement.
You're not picking money though.
Yes, you are picking the money because the top big 5 schools have more money than the HBCUs. You're picking the money. You're picking the living facilities. You're picking the food. You're picking to live better. That's what I'm saying. So you're expecting an 18-year-old kid, a 17-year-old kid to pick the movement over the money.
What I am expecting is that Brandon Marshall cuts $50,000 to somebody that goes to him. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting y'all to be like, you know what? Let's build up our own schools. Let's build up our own community. That's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting some poor 18-year-old to go fund his own education. What I'm expecting is black millionaires to build up their own communities. Because guess what? Guess where Jerry Rice went? What school did Jerry Rice go to?
What, Valley State? What is it?
Exactly.
Fort Valley,
is he a Hall of Famer?
And he was hell. But, okay.
So it's been done before.
I love the point you just made. Brandon Marshall now, with you calling him out, ma'am, has to make the decision to pick the movement over his money.
Yeah, I'm asking y'all to pick one guy that lives.
No, you're picking, you want people to pick the movement over their money. It sounds like we're arguing, but I'm with you. But how many people do you think are going to pick $50,000, take it from my nest egg, to give it to Hampton?
But I'm saying, change your mindset. Stop saying how many people are going to do it. The conversation is, why aren't we doing it?
And why aren't we doing it?
Because slave mentality.
They're gonna pick their money over
and that's
the
a
movement.
choice.
And is that slave mentality to pick your money over the movement?
Yes, because there's more. That investment is way more powerful and will have a return on your investment. Absolutely.
For the big picture of the world. What about
we think we gotta
us?
No, let me just get this big house, let me just do this and that, and I don't see the return in that. There's a huge return in that. A huge return. When black people own their name, when they own their legacy,
they can own their name at big schools too now.
Can they?
But here's
I'm telling you, I love the movement, bro. I would love if all these great top kids with HBCU.
Here's the challenge. But you gotta think about this. Most of our professional athletes, myself, yourself, a lot of us, Reg, Fred, in here, come from nothing. So when you have that mentality, when you make it out of nothing, and then you're asking somebody to give, we don't know how to give, right? So we are first generation millionaires. We're first generation athlete / businessmen. So now we are in this movement now where the younger athletes are seeing us give back. They're seeing us build businesses and build different nonprofits. So there will be a shift, but it's hard to ask somebody to, now give back when you made out the hood. Because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of guys' mentality is, I got 100 people on my payroll. That's my charity. But now things are shifting. So I think what you guys are arguing about, like, I mean, it's a great argument, but at the end of the day, it's like the phases of it and the stages of it. Now we're in a place now where guys, we are starting to think about, should we go to Hampton? Should we go to Howard? And that's why we're starting to see these guys go. I think there's going to be a shift. I think it's going to be a huge shift.
Because the mentality is different. The mentality is different.
The mentality of us is different. What about the mentality of a 17, 18-year-old kid and the people that are
They're doing it.
No, they are
it.
not doing it. You're talking about thousands upon thousands of kids and 2 kids.
It starts with 2, bro.
Yes, but listen,
It starts with.
I'm telling y'all this, bro.
It gotta start
You are
somewhere.
not
I don't
going
know what the hell y'all talking about, but I will say this, right? My dad went to Grambling State, right? I wanted to take a trip to Grambling just off of GP. You know what I mean? They didn't want to recruit me. You know why? They felt like I wasn't gonna go.
because you were too good.
Give it a shot, man.
That's a shame.
Give it a shot.
But
They guess
But guess what? They didn't know that. They didn't know. Hold on, wait.
You're talking
They didn't
about
know. They didn't know. Because we're in the Guinness Book of World Records right now with Waynes. We done had 86 Waynes that went to Grambling State. Right? Give me a shot. Holler at me. This is when Eddie Robb, God bless the dead, he was living. You know what I mean? Give it a shot.
Reggie, if you would have went to Grambling, you would have still been who you are today. Because it's you. When you're good enough, you're good enough.
So the type of people you played around, the coaches you played under, the championship pedigree.
But
you had,
listen what I'm saying.
the facility,
Everybody needs to do
everything that
it.
happened.
If we made the decision as a collective,
Listen,
if all of
this
y'all in the
is-
same draft class made the decision to go to HBCUs, the men would have been popping. You're playing
But
against the top talent anyway.
But this is
The problem is that we can't come together as a community and make the decision. That's the problem. That's the problem.
This is just like the Head Start or the behind the start that black people had 400 years.
Yeah.
When they've been in the United States, we were slaves and then we trying to fight back now. 65 was Jim Crow. So since then, we were equal humans, right? So now we're fighting against people that have generational wealth. People, white folks, grandparents have generations of millions of dollars. We're starting in the 60s when we were allowed to make money, and then when Black Tulsa happened, they burned Black Tulsa down because of the fact that black people making too much money. So I understand they're fighting from behind, but I'm just saying that I'm not gung-ho saying a 17 or 18-year-old can decide between, and they are ahead. The Kentuckys, the UFs, the LSUs, the Miamis are ahead. But you're trying to make a 17, 18-year-old decide between what they can get at one of them schools to go into an HBCU.
Man, I'm trying to educate.
That's a tough ask.
It starts with education.
That's a tough
It starts
ask
with education.
for a kid.
It
And
starts
at
with
17, 18,
education.
I call it a young
Every
man
single
kid.
black person that I know that has interacted with me in law school, that went to a PWI, said, damn, you carry yourself different. You walk different. You talk different. You're comfortable talking to white people. And you know why? Because I went to school with all black excellence. Everybody I know is successful. You can't say that at UF. You can't.
How can you say
You
that?
can't. I've never
How
been a
can you
minority.
say that?
You can't.
How can you say UF don't have successful people?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You can say, you're saying black people at UF.
I'm saying
So
it's different.
you are a
I'm
better
saying it's
black.
different.
You are a better black person because you went to an HBCU.
No, I'm saying it's different, bro.
What's different?
It's different.
What's different?
To not be a minority for the most important 4 years of your life is different. And I walk different.
What about being
And I walk
10% of the entire university, walking around there and represent black people? What about that kid that has to swing,
Not interested.
that has to walk up and they're
Not
scared of you,
interested.
but now you have to show them
Not
and they're
interested.
looking at you as a black person.
Not interested.
I think that's a tougher
Not interested.
that's a tougher
But
task.
that's the thing.
That's a tougher task.
Why choose to be a minority?
To you.
I think that my experience at a prestigious, historically black college and university absolutely positioned me different in life. Absolutely.
Position you different in life.
Because you know what it teaches you?
Was it
You know-
an advantage?
you know what it teaches you?
Because that's why I get it, because I went to University of Florida.
I absolutely.
It was an advantage.
I absolutely think that if we all went to HBCUs, we would be in a better position today because you're not a minority. You're surrounded. Black excellence is the standard. I can't speak for every HBCU because there's levels. Okay. But at Hampton, black excellence is the standard. Your teachers know your name. Your teachers know your struggle. It's different. I don't have a number. I wasn't a number in college. People knew me as Essay. They knew where I was from. All my friends look like me. All my friends look like me. I never messing with people that their family were doctors and lawyers. I thought that I was a minority. I thought that my parents having 2 degrees was some magical success. And when you're surrounded by that, it changes your mindset.
Let me ask you this real quick. I'm gonna just interject because I don't know. I come from a place where
We got curfew.
we got 20,000 people in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I've always learned that exposure leads to expansion.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? If I didn't go to UF, the white school, those opportunities, like my mindset was so minimal coming from where I came from. I was complacent and good with being where I came from. Not everybody, you know, you have to be able to change your outlook in the people you're around. So I was still getting the best of both worlds. Because I'm still on this side, I can go in the hood in the streets, I'm good. And I can go over here and play the hand too. So I'm getting the best from both worlds. At a HBCU, I'm not saying you can't get that. Don't get me wrong now. I don't wanna say anything, because my people, I got a lot of people that went, family members, successful. My sister, she's an international tax attorney for Walmart. So she's the baddest of the baddest coming out of HBCU. You know what I'm saying? So I feel both sides, but from my own personal experience, my opportunities, I think they would have been minimal from where I come from and what I'm doing.
But the people that
from
you come
football.
from?
No, I'm talking about football specifically.
Right.
I didn't go to major in to being a doctor or an attorney. I went to UF to play football because that was the opportunity I was given. Fortunately, I was blessed to be the best of the best coming out of high school. I went to the best university, and I gave myself the best opportunity. So guys are going to take advantage of that, right? And the same thing with Maker going to the HBCU now.
Who made you a better player? The guys you played with.
The guys I played with.
Right.
Then the coach. No. Let me get you right.
All I'm saying is that if those same guys were to choose to play in the MEAC or the SWAC, you would have been playing against the same talent. And guess what? The best coaches would have been where the best players are.
I can't necessarily agree with that because
It's a money thing.
It's all money.
So
money is
coaches,
definitely the big piece.
all coaches ain't gonna play.
And then when you look at the dynamics
that's where
of
money-
the makeup of the team,
Money follows talent. Why is it such a crazy idea?
We got curfew.
Because guess what? It's happened before.
It's
a
not a
lot of your
crazy
legends
idea.
went to
We
HBCU.
got curfew.
let's continue to talk about it.
All right, so look, the first
It's not a crazy idea.
We got curfew.
No, that's good.
Make it the production meeting. Let's go.
Get my shirt.